Hi folks, this is Danny at Bradley James Classics, and today's car is certainly a modern classic. It has to be. It's a trading car. We've just had it in. It's called a Will, and it's, even though it says VI, they're known as a Will V, and it's fundamentally a Toyota Yaris first generation underneath. So it features the stronger engine from the early Yaris, which is a VVTi, so it's a very 1300 engine with twin overhead cams. You will not see the word Toyota written on this car anywhere. In fact, if you get in really closely, you will see Will. They are cars that were produced for the younger generation in Japan. They were, at the time, bearing in mind they made them for a short time, from a period of 2000 to 2001, so I think they had about a 1-year production run, maybe slightly more. They were class leading for their fuel and consumption, and they were a green car before their time. All of them automatic, a 4-speed automatic married to a 1300 twin overhead cam, variable valve timed engine, so sprightly without being fast, nippy. Obviously distinctive styling. Now this windscreen is curved back, and I'm thinking probably Ford Anglia 105e from the 60s. The colour is, I think they call it a vintage rose, or certainly a rose is in the word somewhere there. So it's a light, maybe a violetty colour. It's very striking and attractive. Obviously the car itself gets a lot of attention. People immediately wondering what it is. Well, you wouldn't have seen very many of them. In fact, I think you can virtually count on one or two hands how many actually are registered in use in the UK, bearing in mind they were built for the Japanese market. So not that many made the journey across, and not that many are, as I mentioned, registered here. So you definitely get the wow factor of a car which is a rarity. Now I'm afraid it is a little bit muddy, because coming up to our yard here, a little bit of mud on the road, so it is muddy, but the car itself is pretty straight. Now, bearing in mind it's from the year 2000, it's getting on a bit. It means it's 24 years old this year. The bodywork, bearing in mind these are actually supposed to be here, these sculpts through the side. It was an amalgamation of companies. One of them happened to be Panasonic. There was a handful of Japanese companies that came together to create this design, and it is pretty unique. As I say, you will not be seeing lots of them. It causes a little stir anywhere it goes. So it has a kind of maybe classic look, quirky look, but with all the reliability of a Japanese Toyota from a period where Toyota were arguably building the most reliable cars in the world. But because the car is approaching 24 years old, there are obviously one or two minor imperfections, and I'm afraid it's not a brilliant day today. It's a bit wet and drizzly, but you've got a small scuff here that would possibly polish out, I'm not sure. You've got a, let's have a look, let's go this way. That's mud at the bottom, that'll definitely come off. A few stone chips across the front bonnet, of course. Stone chips on the front bumper, but straight, not dented. Front wing in good condition. Windscreen looks to be in good order, as does the roof, as does the driver's side door, as does the passenger rear door. That's a bit of dirt. The only thing, if you wanted to spend any money on taking this car to the next level, unfortunately it has suffered a little bit of lacquer peel on the back. Now that's a flatness caused where the lacquer has actually worn away, and the car's back end here, this boot, would probably benefit, and some of the bonnet, the back bumper here, with some lacquer. Not a huge job, but we are pricing this car incredibly sensibly, because they can be fiercely expensive from the wrong place. This is a bargain compared to what these cars can go for, and there is definitely a bit of paint missing there. Probably going to struggle to go into Halfords and match this colour up in a rush, but I think when people buy cars that are 24 years old, most of my customers are very reasonable when it comes to expectations around condition. And this car actually is in pretty good order. It's very nice inside, obviously quirky. Just to recap, a 1.3 petrol engine with a 4-speed automatic gearbox. Into the car itself, and immediately you can see there's some interesting colour schemes going on there. Now this is where it does get rather smart. This looks like a leatherette type panel here. We've got electric windows, we've got air conditioning. Japanese cars tend to have air conditioning. And let's open up the back doors here. Now the seats, which look like a bench, are way back, but you can see these very upright seats. And there's your "We will be together," will be. Manual windy windows in the back, speakers, quite small rear doors, and actually not huge in the back. This is definitely more of, oh, it has got 3 seat belts. Very hard up here, so there's no rear glass space, but then a generous sized boot. Let's open up and show you what I mean. That's a decent sized boot. You can get quite a bit in there. And then under here, there's a little space saver wheel and a jack. And down we go. I must point out there's a little cap here. There isn't one here. That's missing. Probably not the easiest part to pick up. I think that's Japanese eBay, or if it's equivalent. Now, it's got some, let's have a sit in here. This is where it's quite cool. It's got these bench seats across the front, which are brilliant. So there's nice, comfy, there's a cool material that feels like a, I don't know, almost like a tweed. It's got these cool carpets, they unclip, and there's a beige carpet under there. I'm sorry, it's not in terribly valeted order. It is quite clean and tidy, but the weather isn't brilliant, so it's a little bit grubby inside. There's those door cards. They look really swish. Nice and tall, these doors. Electric window switch. Now, a column change like an old-fashioned car, and in the middle of the column, look at that, overdrive button. Brilliant. Nice, modern, Japanese-looking windscreen wiper material with an intermittent, and this is indicators and lights. Very easy to use. The center console, interesting again. Oh, it does say Toyota there. And if you are really retro, you've got a cassette player. That's where you put your cassette. I don't think you'll be putting very many. I mean, it does say compact disc there, so I need to probably work out quite how that works. But if it says compact disc, then maybe if I'm really smart, I can find a way of turning that on. It says auxiliary, so maybe you can plug stuff into it. I'm not truly sure. There's your air conditioning button. Here's your ventilation, heating buttons, and there's a hazard warning light, and that's a heated rear window. Nicely positioned fans, vents, and there's the middle dials. Now, when I turn this on, it's telling me that I've got about half a tank of fuel. It's blinking at me because I haven't put my seatbelt on. It's saying 133, but that is actually kilometers, so actually in English that's 82,000 miles, which for a for a year 2000 car is pretty respectable. Now you will see that's me starting the engine. Now the seatbelt light will flash until I put a seatbelt on, but you'll notice no engine management light. You'll see that it's actually in kilometers, 180 kilometers an hour is the top, and it's a quaint little dashboard, and I can set the clock here. A very nice little headlining. That's the color scheme inside, and then as you see, as I put it down into drive, there is a parking brake down here. It's on and then off we go. What fun. And it's an incredible little car. It looks brilliant. It's got all the modern creature comforts like air conditioning, electric seats. I can tell there's a very nice little heater working at the moment. Built over rock solid Toyota reliability from the Yaris, which was a very popular selling small car, and the quirkiness of a body styling exercise, which quite frankly will not be getting repeated. So folks, I'm going to take one further quick look around this car from the outside. So you've had your full 10 minutes of a walk around video from Bradley James Classics. Now there's 2 keys that are going to come with this car. There is a little bit more paperwork. I can certainly see that the logbook is there. It has MOT through to December, I think it's the 21st, 2024, so a very long MOT as I make this video. And a final walk around. You may be able to hear it running in the background. It's not a very noisy engine. And quirky, yes. Instantly lovable, I'd say so. And I think if you just want something a little different, and I would imagine actually as time goes on, rarities continue. It's limited number cars and limited edition rare cars always seem to work their way up in value. We can never be sure if the future is going to be kind or cruel to this car, but I think at the price point that we're at, I think it's probably one of the cheapest wheels you're going to see for sale, certainly in the UK. We've just had it in today as a part exchange, as I say, so we're happy to let it go on to a loving new home for someone who wants something a little quirky. Now, the price reflects the fact that we have got, as I say, some lacquer missing from the back here. It would be very nice if that lacquer could be reinstated. It would help give the back end a complete lift, but as I say, for those who can live with that situation and take advantage of the price, then I think this would be a great little car for the right household. Anyway folks, Bradley James Classics signing out today. Thank you for watching our video. We can deliver this car anywhere in the UK for a very reasonable price point. We can take in part exchange your classic car, your modern car, or even a light commercial vehicle. So we are based in the Basingstoke area in Overton. We have a railway station 5 minutes walk away. We're near the M3 and the A303, so we're easy to get to. Our own workshops close by will make sure this car is checked out prior to leaving us, so she's going to be ready to drive away. Thank you for watching the video folks. That's Danny at Bradley James signing out.